full or desolate, is dictated by the thoughts and values it contains. When someone's consciousness is consumed by the worship of money and power, an inflated sense of superiority, constant comparison, or emotions like envy, hatred, and greed, they inevitably bring harm to others and to society as a whole. When the soul garden is neglected, corruption and tyranny flourish among officials who disregard human life. Intellectuals flatter the powerful and distort the truth. Merchants sell counterfeit goods and inferior products, passing them off as authentic. Corporations resort to fraud, producing adulterated or harmful goods. Ordinary people scheme, deceive, and harm each other. Vices such as excessive drinking, gambling, promiscuity, drug abuse, fraud, extortion, swindling, and theft become widespread. The natural cycles of the seasons are disrupted, social order descends into chaos, and few people achieve a fulfilling and beautiful life. When the soul garden is uncultivated, the costs of running society skyrocket. Interpersonal interactions become riddled with conflict and mistrust. Integrity fades as selfishness, deceit, and cunning take over. Relationships, whether familial, friendly, or romantic, are reduced to tools for personal gain. Bureaucracy, commerce, and romantic relationships turn into battlegrounds or gambling dens, where the powerful fear for their family's annihilation, the wealthy fear kidnapping, and the ordinary people devolve into violent mobs. The futility of nations. Are nations truly useful? Nations have existed for thousands of years, yet beyond bringing war, plunder, and the creation of barriers and borders, what have they contributed to humanity? When every nation prioritizes its own interests, as in America First, the inevitable result is ruthless competition and unending conflict. The strong dominate through force, while the weak live in fear and injustice. Nuclear blackmail and threats are prime examples of this pattern. The futility of religion. Are religions genuinely beneficial? Religions have existed for millennia, but have they brought humanity peace, happiness, and harmony? Can souls numbed by dogma experience true joy, freedom, or fulfillment? Can minds closed by rigid beliefs dream of paradise? The futility of laws. Are laws effective? Every country has a legal system, with countless statutes and regulations covering every conceivable issue. Yet, have they prevented wars and conflicts? Have they enabled the average person to live a prosperous and happy life? Do they guarantee freedom of movement or freedom to dissent? Have they reduced crime rates? Take, for example, the issue of illegal immigration. If legal migration were a viable option, who would risk their life to migrate illegally? Who would leave their homeland if they could survive there? What is the true essence of law? True law is any approach, pathway, channel, measure, or method that enables people to live happily, freely, and joyfully. Anything that hinders these outcomes cannot be called law. Earth itself is a small village within the vast cosmos. A true legal framework would allow its inhabitants to migrate freely within this village. If illegal immigration is deemed a crime, then all humans are guilty because the Earth initially. Take the United States as an example. Aside from its indigenous peoples, everyone else qualifies as an illegal immigrant. The U.S. is essentially a stronghold built by illegal immigrants. If your ancestors' illegal immigration was justified, why is it unjustified for others who came later? Isn't the strength of the United States today a result of the contributions of those so-called illegal immigrants? Why, then, expel immigrants now? Why not allow unrestricted migration so that everyone on Earth can immigrate to the U.S., transforming the entire planet into a united America? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Historically, how many places that strictly restrict outsiders have managed to become civilized, prosperous, or strong? The cost of neglecting the soul garden. Entrepreneurs, reflect, where do most of your time and energy go? Is it not consumed by managing interpersonal relationships? Are these costs not overwhelming? If everyone's soul garden were beautiful, would you still lose sleep or feel constant anxiety? Each of us should ask ourselves, have not most of our greatest troubles, pain, frustration, and worry, been caused by other people? The powerful oppress you, the powerless deceive you, and loved ones betray you. If the people you encounter had perfect soul gardens, where would toxic food, blackmail, fraud, deception, theft, or robbery come from? A call for reflection. History must be critically examined, reality scrutinized, and authority openly questioned. Without such deep reflection and scrutiny, the path forward will only grow narrower, steeper, and more challenging to traverse. A collective purification of humanity's soul is the best path to a world where the weather is harmonious, peace prevails, and everyone enjoys a beautiful life. Does life have meaning? Xie Feng. December 25, 2024. On the internet, many people claim that life has no meaning. Let us explore whether life truly has any meaning. In a pigsty of 10 pigs, an old pig said, "Life as a pig has no meaning. We spend our entire lives in this sty, doing nothing but eating, drinking, sleeping, and rolling in the mud. There's no other purpose." A boar replied, "There's also mating. Mating is meaningful." A piglet chimed in, "Drinking our mother's milk and playing with my siblings in the sty makes life as a pig very meaningful." Hearing the pigs discuss the meaning of life, the pig farmer couldn't help but laugh. He thought to himself, "What do you know about the meaning of your existence? Your purpose as pigs is to grow fat so that I can slaughter and eat you." A Buddha overheard the pig farmer's thoughts and found them laughable. He thought, "Raising pigs is your duty, but slaughtering and eating them negates your merits. From then on, you'll have to start over from zero." What is the meaning of life as a pig? All the pigs knelt before the greatest creator and pleaded for answers. A deafening voice echoed from the heavens, "As pigs, your existence is to repay the debts of your past lives, where you lived recklessly and harmed other living beings. By living as pigs and settling your debts, you can be freed from this existence and reincarnate as humans. That is the entire meaning of your lives as pigs." If you ask pigs whether their lives have meaning, they won't know, they cannot comprehend the purpose of their existence. If you ask humans whether their lives have meaning, they won't know either, humans cannot fully grasp the purpose of their existence. Humanity is evolving according to my vision. Dayform Buddha. December 27, 2024. The future of humanity is unimaginably beautiful, a world where every individual experiences such profound joy that it leaves them trembling in awe. I will eliminate the roots of human troubles, worry, pain, anxiety, sorrow, fear, and apprehension, so that people live as if in paradise, transforming Earth into a true utopia. Let me share my vision and the steps I will take to bring it to life. I will abolish marriage and family. I will dissolve nations, political parties, and religions. I will erase wealth disparities, along with banks and currencies. I will remove national borders. I will eliminate theft, robbery, invasion, war, unrest, corruption, fraud, deceit, and bribery. I will eradicate poverty and hunger. My plan is for everyone to live to the age of 120. Over the course of their lives, they will experience living and working in at least 40 different locations with diverse climates, geographies, and seasons. They will immerse themselves in temperate, frigid, and tropical zones, in regions with distinct 4 seasons as well as those with only rainy and dry seasons. They will share life with people of various races, languages, and cultures. Each day will be filled with joy, and their lives will be intoxicatingly fulfilling. When they reach 120, will they simply die? No. After 120, I will send some individuals to live on Mars, not in their physical bodies, but by transferring their consciousness onto chips that will be transported to Mars. Once there, their consciousness will be replicated into robotic bodies, allowing humans to make a spectacular transformation from carbon-based lifeforms to silicon-based beings, continuing to relish the infinite joys of existence. For others, I will guide them to higher dimensions such as the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Celestial Islands continent, where they can enjoy the bliss of being celestial beings. Can anyone stop this plan from coming to fruition? No one can. No president, billionaire, philosopher, scientist, or thinker can halt the progress and realization of my vision. My advice is this: do not resist this tide of change. Align yourself with it, or risk being eliminated by the programs of the new era. For anyone wishing to step into this unparalleled, wondrous new era and live within my vision, there is one essential course you must take, the soul purification course. Of all matters, this is the most urgent. Do not miss this once in 10,000 years opportunity. 8 logical deductions that prove communism will be achieved. Xie Feng. January 17, 2025. First, the communism I refer to is neither Marxist communism nor the version pursued by global communist parties. It is Xie Feng-style communism. Communism will inevitably be achieved as it aligns with the inevitable laws of social development. The Internet and AI enable global unification. The Internet facilitates information sharing, and AI possesses a global perspective. Internet programs inherently follow a communist framework, while the values of AI are universal. Humans cannot live without the Internet, nor can they surpass AI. The communist programming and universal values embedded in these technologies will inevitably lead to global unification, which is precisely Xie Feng-style communism. The human desire for freedom of movement. The pursuit of freedom of movement and relocation is intrinsic to human nature. The Schengen area, which encompasses 29 European countries with borderless travel, is evidence of this. Similarly, the visa-free policies implemented by many nations reflect this trend. Ultimately, the entire world will adopt visa-free policies, and border controls will vanish. When people can freely move across the earth, Xie Feng-style communism will be realized. Automation will replace human labor. The tasks performed by humans will increasingly be replaced by robots. In the future, the number of robots will surpass the number of humans. As people gradually lose jobs and over 90% of the population becomes unemployed, societies will be compelled to provide universal welfare for the unemployed. At this point, humanity will have essentially entered a communist society. Human nature seeks novelty and change. Human nature craves novelty and variety, as exemplified in sexual relationships. People are reluctant to have only one partner for life. The desire to experience intimacy with diverse individuals across different races is inherent. With the development of the Internet, the proliferation of communication platforms, and global freedom of movement, more people will escape the constraints of marriage to engage with others more broadly. This will inevitably lead to the advent of Xie Feng-style communism. The superior lifestyle of Xie Feng-style communism. Before 2009, humanity had never witnessed true communism. With the establishment of the Life-Chanuan Communist Home in 2009, we discovered that Xie Feng-style communism offers a life far superior to traditional family and marriage-based living. The continuous flourishing of these homes for 17 years demonstrates that communism is the ideal lifestyle for humanity. As more people become aware of and experience the advantages of Xie Feng-style communism, this model will inevitably spread globally. The decline of authoritarianism. The antithesis of communism is authoritarianism, characterized by strict control of public opinion. Governments achieve this through monopolization of media and communication tools. However, the Internet and AI are increasingly beyond government control. Traditional government-controlled media is becoming marginalized, as people turn to decentralized and diverse sources for information. This will lead to the collapse of authoritarian regimes, paving the way for communism. The phenomenon of Elon Musk. The phenomenon of Elon Musk demonstrates that capital in the hands of entrepreneurs like Musk benefits society and the public more than when controlled by governments. The primary goal of governments is to maintain power, whereas the primary goal of entrepreneurs is to generate profit. As a result, governments have limited perspectives, while entrepreneurs possess a global vision. Entrepreneurs are therefore better equipped for the future, and their flourishing will inevitably lead to the birth of communism. The inevitable evolution towards Xie Feng-style communism. From the primitive era to the present, humanity's progress, despite countless challenges and twists, has been marked by a continuous elevation in civilization. The transition from barbarism to civilization is a fundamental rule and law of societal evolution. The highest form of civilization for human society is neither socialism nor capitalism but Xiaofeng-style communism. This is an unstoppable trend that no force can hinder, making it evident that communism will inevitably be realized. What is Xiaofeng-style communism? Xiaofeng-style communism is essentially the great harmony sought by sages throughout history. This great harmony is characterized by a unified set of values, life views, views on life, and view of the universe. A shared language and communication system. Unified modes of production and lifestyles. It is important not to misunderstand Xiaofeng-style communism as some sort of terrifying monster or movement of coercion. It does not involve forced confiscation of private property, nor does it rely on political campaigns. Instead, it emerges gradually and naturally, like spring rain nourishing the earth. It offers a life of happiness, freedom, and fulfillment, far surpassing traditional lifestyles and the lives of the wealthy. Over time, people will willingly and joyfully embrace this way of life. Conclusion. The future of humanity is infinitely bright. Ultimately, humanity will enter a society of Xiaofeng-style communism. The last path left for humanity. Dayform Buddha. January 19, 2025. Earth was created for humans, and the entire solar system was designed specifically to support life on Earth. As such, Earth is governed by higher beings. When human behavior becomes incompatible with Earth's resources or when human consciousness deviates from the Creator's will, humans are treated as waste and eliminated by Earth's managers. The Bible recounts the Great Flood, during which only Noah's family survived, while all others were wiped out. This was because humanity had lost its reverence and devotion to the Creator. When humans lose their awe and sincerity toward the greatest Creator and become arrogant, no matter how profound their wisdom, advanced their technology, or immense their wealth, they will no longer be fit to live on Earth. Civilizations such as the Gandhara civilization,